Alive with Church Alive. And this is your host and president of Church Alive Development Corporation. Yes, and the proud pastor of Church Alive Community Church. And we have a very special program to bring to you today because it will be dealing with how the farms in our community, the community farms that is, are making a major difference in the food shortage that's throughout the Bronx area. And also, the local farms are also bringing us fresh fruit, vegetables, which is desperately needed to improve the nutrition condition, the poor nutrition condition here in the Bronx. For those who are not aware of it, the Bronx leads all districts in the state of New York for poor nutritional health. And not only that, for more medical care. We seem to be on the bottom line of all the needs, both medical and both physical. But the community farms have stepped in, and they, over the years, they're not new, over the years have doing a masterful job of providing not only fresh fruits and vegetables, but training our children into farming and getting them to know and understand where their food is coming from, and also to make sure that the restaurants are even involved with this and making sure that they are serving fresh fruits and vegetables. And so we are proud to have in our studio at this time, LaFinca. They are a very special community farm that has worked very well with the churches in the Bronx, and we're looking to expand that relationship. And so at this time, I would like to introduce the director of the farm. And the farm has been ministering here for over 15 years. It sits on 2 acres right here in the Mont Haven, Port Morris area. And they have expanded because of the great work that they have been doing. And you're going to hear a lot about that expansion and how you can be a volunteer. And most of all, how you can contribute to the success of the community farm. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce Nancy Sharon. I don't want to mess up names, Nancy, because I know you so long as Nancy. So welcome to Church Alive, okay? And also, we're going to move right along and introduce your husband, Demetrio Sharon. And we're going to add that very special component to the community farm. And I'm amazed that we can have honey in the Bronx. And so our famous beekeeper is Alan Markowitz, okay? We want to thank all of you for coming on and making this program so very informative for the people of the Bronx and for the city of New York. But this program will go to the Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, and parts of Westchester. So we're going to reach a lot of people, and we're going to educate them, and we're going to bring them closer to be supporters of the community farms. So without any further ado, I would like to, at this time, introduce Nancy. Tell us, Nancy, about what is happening, and give me a little bit of how it started.
Okay, thank you, Pastor Burkett. So in reintroducing myself, I'm Nancy Ortiz Sarun. I'm a farmer, a coordinator, educator, and co-founder of La Finca del Sur South Bronx Farmers. And we, for the past 15 years, have tried to create a hub of health, wellness, fresh food production, and community engagement in Port Morris, Mott Haven area of the South Bronx. Over the years, we've had different educational initiatives. We've had youth hosting where youth and really people of all generations can come in and help create the infrastructure because this farm belongs to the community. And yeah, it's addressing, like you said, Pastor, the need for fresh, local, organically raised or naturally raised food, for a better word, and green space, right? Recreation, community gathering. These are all parts of a community's health that I think La Finca has helped to serve. We Our mission statement states that we are a woman of color founded community space, and that was important to us because women do a great deal of the work globally in terms of putting food on the table, preparing it, and making the decisions about their family's health. And we wanted to honor the fact that our South Bronx community, for at least the last 50 years, has been stewarded by Black and Latina women, women from all over the world, immigrant women, and we wanted to honor that in our founding and mission statement. And I believe a lot of the programming is for the family, it's for the community, but it is very much a project that uh, we are stewarding and that can offer support and empowerment, especially to the women in the community.
Now, you're a partnership with a lot of different organizations that help you to be so effective in the Bronx. Tell us a little bit about some of the partnerships. Nancy.
Okay, I can kick it off, and then maybe Demetrio can answer some of this too. We, as part of the Parks and Recreation Network, we're supported by Green Thumb NYC. They are the major support agency for parks, and there are like over 1,000 community gardens and parks in the 5 boroughs. And what they do is they offer technical support, they offer materials, they offer volunteers support. They have created infrastructure, like provided the materials to build out new infrastructure, such as the SAGE, right, the Super Ability Gardeners Enclave that we are just going to launch now in the spring. Stacey Ellis, who is an important part and member of La Finca, helped to initiate that, and it will be an accessible area for people of all abilities. So yeah, Green Thumb provided most of the materials for that and for the paving that will enable, smooth transport for people, coming in with all types of devices. So Green Thumb, we have Green Gorillas. Grow NYC also supplies us with some plants for the plant sales, for the planting actually. So as we are often chosen as the site for distribution by these major organizations, which is really cool because we get to meet gardeners and farmers from all over the borough and find out what's happening with them, because networking is an important part of success, but it's hard. Demetrio, maybe you can speak a little bit more. Once the season starts, how much time do we really have, for the visiting, for the networking that is necessary in
Dimitri,
in this type of work?
you ready to chime in on this? And because you're really an integral part in really connecting the different areas and different services of the Bronx. Go ahead.
In addition to what Nancy said, we also collaborate with different organizations such as your organization, Pastor, as well as Bronx Community College, a Hostel Community College, and Montefiore Hospital, doing different workshops about healthy food, healthy eating, and community organization providing maybe dance classes sometimes, yoga classes, and things like that. So beside adding to the food, by networking with this organization, such as Pergone Theater, they do different performance, which bring not only healthy food, but also help to the soul of the people. So people need more than physical food. They also need some kind of diversion for the mind to relax and be more at peace with themselves. So we network with multiple organizations throughout the borough and throughout the city, like Green Tongue, Green Gorilla, like Nancy specified, and many other that I don't really have in mind the name right now. But we try to reach as many partner organizations in order to keep this farm going and to keep the community engaged as we go along.
I'd like to now introduce Alan Markowitz. And Alan, I'm introducing him because I'll call him the bee man, but he's actually the beekeeper. And he has brought a new dimension to the Bronx, and also high level of nutrition that we certainly need in the Bronx. And Alan, go right ahead. Tell us about your part.
Well, it's also important to know that it's not just the honey, but a third of what you put in your mouth has to be pollinated. And honeybees are a major source of pollination for the plants that are around the Bronx. The bees fly out 2 to 3 miles around, and when they go in the flowers to look for nectar and to look for pollen, they pollinate the plants, the apples, the vegetables, the fruits, the nuts, all of it. So it's while the honey tastes great, and local honey and having raw honey is very nutritious, the bees play a much bigger role in the farming community and in the horticulture community of the Bronx than just providing honey. The other thing, too, that we do at the farm is we do educational programs. I will go, and my daughter will accompany me too, and we will put on workshops. We'll actually open up the hive. The bees are very docile, and people can get rather close, and I can go through what a hive looks like, what the bees do, what are the different stages of development, how they make honey, and how they bring pollen in. A hive is a very fascinating thing to look at, and there's a lot of interesting things that go on in a beehive that's not so obvious for somebody who hasn't had the chance to see it. So we have school groups that come in, both elementary school, high school, and I actually had a college group come in this past fall from New Jersey. So there's a lot of things to learn about what goes on in a hive, and that's become a popular part of the Finca.
But we're going to go back to our Demetrio. And Demetrio, let us go into how you're actually working with the community, because the area of teaching children farming is really rare in the Bronx. And we want to encourage other children and the families of in the Bronx to bring their children and let them know and learn and appreciate food from the very ground to their very mouths. Demetrio.
Yeah, like Alan said, we do different workshop or training. One of the things that we teach the children, I know, like my grandson and some of the other farmer children, we bring them in, and when we're doing planting, we ask them to put some of the seeds of the goblet club and on the earth, and that way they see how they're planted. When they bring them in, also when we harvesting tomato, when they come in, we give them tomatoes so they can eat, so they can taste how sweet the tomato look, because most of them don't see tomato like that in their houses. And besides learning how do you plant, they learn how to plant, how to harvest, how to water the plant, and this is a great education for them, and they'll very much involved. Take them away from the house, away from the cell phone screen, and it teaches them how to survive for the future. Most of our children come, for multiple years, and they help, over the summer in many different, situations, and allow them to demonstrate a lot of interest, which is a good thing for the future generation, because we're not going to be here forever. They had to take over as we go along, and by training them and seeing the fact that they enjoy this, makes it's a very rewarding situation for us, seeing that young people like this, and they were eager to learn this.
Okay, what are some of the ways that we can interest the people of the community to engage in the farm?
But I think any of us who's involved with people in the community to refer them to the farm. Once they're in the farm, sometimes we put flyer in the neighborhood when you're going to have activities. That's one of the ways that we try to bring people in addition to reach out to our partner. We need people to come in, because it's like mental health issue situation going on around. When you come to the farm, you learn how to grow vegetables, but also it's very relaxing time. And most people, when they come to the farm, basically they spend 2 or 3 hours in the farm whenever they're there. I mean, today, for example, we have a pruning workshop, and we were supposed to leave at 1 o'clock. By the time I left, almost everybody was still in the farm trying to do, little things like that. So that's the thing with the farm. It's kind of once you're inside, it gives you a lot of satisfaction. The issue is to bringing people inside. That's what we need. Some community organizations such as church, community, a group, and the family in general to come to the farm just for a visit. Bring the kid, and once they come in and they visit the farm. A lot of them will come back multiple times, and many of them become members.
Okay, that'll tell us some of the produce that's harvested at the farm.
Well, we harvest maybe about 20, 25 different products, but I'm going to mention just a few of them. One of the things that we grew up on is collard green, which a lot of African American and now Latino family are.
Oh, yeah.
So Swiss chard is also something that a lot of people like, as well as kale, eggplant, cucumber, garlic, and when it comes to herb, we have mint, we have papalo, which is a very desirable Mexican herb that they use in soup and salad. We have sage, rosemary. So we have a variety of products, and basically we grow for the farming market for La Finca, but each individual member has their own bed, and they can grow whatever herb or whatever vegetable that they eat on a regular basis.
Folks, we need to really help. We need to help financially to be able to donate to this program, and that it may feed back to us all the things that you just heard. So I would like you make sure that you have a paper, pencil, or pen, and take down the telephone number and say, listen, I want to make a donation. I want to help. Or even you want to sign on as a supporter. And then thirdly, you can actually come out and volunteer. And it's a wonderful experience to go back to where nature has provided for us all these years, and to be able to really know that the fruits and vegetables that I'm buying, I'm actually picking them out of the ground. No preservatives. They have no preservatives on them. So you've got them from nature to your mouth. Amen. And so we want you to take advantage of that. But we're going to go right now back to our beekeeper so he can tell us from what time does the bee start and what time is the honey ready? Alan.
Well, the bees, I will get new colonies to install the first half of April is when the bees actually come and when I install them in the hives. And then for the rest of the spring and the summer, they go out and they do their thing. They pollinate and they bring back nectar and convert it into honey. And by the time the end of the summer rolls around, usually August, September, sometimes in the early October, when the season is about done, I'll go into the hive and I'll check to see how much honey there is, and I will extract from there. And I have my own extractor and I have jars, and I will actually take the frames, and in the living room of my apartment, I will do a honey extraction and do all of the jarring there. So usually September, October is when I have honey available. By the time I get it all extracted and then get it put in jars. So that's the time that you can expect your next delivery of honey.
All right. So my best bet with the quality of honey that you're producing, I better put my order in right now. You say, is that what you're saying?
Well, we'll certainly reserve you some jars. That's not a problem.
Okay, very good, because I'm into it now. Every year I get my friend. And listen, I'm telling to my audience that you're out there and you've been going to the supermarket and you've been getting this low-level honey. Some of it doesn't even taste like honey, but you buy it. And a small jar of honey now in the supermarket can run you as much as $20. Mm-hmm. And so why not go to the farm and get the real thing? Okay. no preservatives, no makeovers, and no commercializing, but the real thing. And I tell you, folks, in my own experience, you will not go back to the supermarket unless you run out of the honey. And so I want you, this is the reason why we really need to support the local farm, because they don't produce enough honey. And the reason why is they don't have the funding to do it. And so you're watching this program right now, and start thinking of how you can donate $100 to the local farm, and then go right there and for your donation, you can go shop and pick out your own food, fresh. And again, I say without preservatives. And when you have tasted it without preservatives, it's hard for you to go back to the supermarket. So what I'm telling you is a real experience that I've had, and I encourage you to visit La Finca and support it. And you may have say, I got some free time, but that's a great way to take your free time and make a difference in improving the nutrition of the Bronx. We're going to go back to Mr. Dimitri, and we're unfortunate we lost communications with Nancy, but we're working even now to try to get her back on. But in the meantime, we're going to move along. And Dimitri, I have a few questions to ask you. Demetrio.
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad you didn't answer to Dimitri, because that's not your name. Demetrio. Demetrio, tell me right now, how can my viewing audience help LaFinca?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? I'm having issue.
Yeah, how can the viewing audience right now help with LaFinca?
Okay. Well, like I said before, they can help in a different way. Like, monetary donations are accepted. Physical help, growing the vegetable are great, and also participation in the event that we have and buying some of the products during the season. That's like the best three way to help the finca. You buy something from us, like you said, fresh food. It's organically grown. It's not organic certified. It's organically grown. It's a local food. You help in the local community, and the fact that most of the farm staff is volunteer. So you're helping other people from the Bronx. You're helping yourself by buying healthy food, and you're helping us to keep providing this food for many years to come.
Okay, we come to the close part of this program, and later on we're going to visit LaFinca, but we're going to show some pictures of the farm and how it's operating. With the remainder of time, we're going to show them what really happens at LaFinca. We're going to show you pictures, folks, of excitement. We're going to see food, vegetables like you've never seen them before, fresh, not artificially colored, but the real thing. And so at this time, we thank you for being here with us. The telephone number is going to come up on the screen. And I know that God is speaking to you right now and saying, this is where you can make your investment. This is where you can send a donation. I know that. I know that as a man of God, God supports those things that improve the lifestyle of his children. And the farm does just that. And those churches who've already pledged to me that the farmer, they can come out and pick up the vegetables, set up a table in front of their church, and prepare the fruits and vegetables for the people in their community. And we're going to do that. And we're going to start it with Church Alive. So I want to thank you so much. We're going to give Demetrio about 2-3 minutes to tell us, in your words, how important it is that we support the local farm, LaFinca.
The first thing we have to think about when we are cooking in our house, what kind of food are we using? From the supermarkets, food that comes from California, Florida, maybe Mexico, there may not be bad food, but by the time you harvest something in Mexico, bring it to New York, take about 7 to 10 days. So that food has lost a lot of the environment and the strength. And you don't know how that food was grown. So by buying food from the local farmer market, not only in La Finca, there's many farmer market and community garden throughout the city that people can participate and help them. So by buying food from La Finca, you're helping La Finca to be an anchor in the society and the community and help us keep going. So providing a basics and a very needed service to the people in the community, especially when when you have so many single mother in the neighborhood in the Bronx, by buying food that is affordable and healthy, you're helping in multiple ways. Not only just by providing the money that you pay for the food, but just by bringing healthy food for your family, which allow children to grow up and have a better education, have a better understanding of things that are explained to them in the classroom because they're having healthy food. They're not eating all this sugar and all this, genetically, created food, but they eating something that is natural. In addition to that, like I said, we had different activity performance that you can bring the family, especially the children, when we have activity follow-ups in the We Are La Finca is the Facebook that we have. We also an Instagram, so you can or just visit La Finca. We're gonna have a schedule set up in the gate of La Finca for the summer. Saying when are we open, from what time to what time, and whenever we have an activity, we're gonna have posting in the
Thank
fence showing the date
you.
of the
Okay.
activity and what kind of activity we're gonna have.
Okay.
So we welcome you to come and help as much as you can. Thank you
Okay.
and have a good day.
Thank you so much. Okay. We ran out of time on some things that's so important. So we want to close by telling you now stay with us because you're going to see some wonderful pictures and opportunity to be part of La Franca. Thank you so much. We close by telling you we love you with the love of the Lord.